And I'm staying in my house in Kansas City because, and it was cold here as well. But I'm looking at MSNBC, and Chris Matthews says, you know, it's pitiful that the members of Congress are not here in Washington working. He said, we have our TV crews, they're out and about in Washington. And he said, these guys are laying around somewhere in the district office. Chris Matthews used to be the press secretary for Tip O'Neill. He knows the situation. He knew that the airport in Washington had been closed a week. He knew that we couldn't get to Washington. But it was an easy kind of a deal to push out on the American public because nobody's going to get mad, and no politician can call in and say anything to him, because if you call into a news station and you're a politician, they're going to beat on you for a week on the news. 2 weeks ago, I organized, in an attempt to work on civility, a hall party in Longworth office, in the Longworth office building where I'm housed. And we asked everyone in our hall, you know, Republicans, Democrats, and they all agreed to bring food from home. We're all going to gather after votes in the hall and eat and get to know each other. So I had gates flown in that morning from Kansas City, and some folk had from Illinois flew in food from that community. We had all kinds of people. We also invited the news media. Not one reporter showed up. How do we get them to show up? If they had said Cleaver and Congresswoman Clark are cursing each other out on in the hallway, we would have had every TV camera right there in the hall. And so the problem is, as we struggle, and there are not many of us who do this, who struggle for civility, we will never get exposure, because the news media is lasered in on conflict. Shelley Moore Capito, a Republican from West Virginia, and I have had 2 hour-long debates on the floor of the House of Representatives, debating each other on issues that we disagree strongly about. Our purpose was to debate and show people that you can debate, have strong differences, and still have a relationship. We debated really, really, really strongly tort reform. I had one strong position, she had another. At the conclusion, we went out and had dinner, trying to show our colleagues. The reason you don't know about it? Nobody's interested in you knowing about that. Now, granted, we don't have much of that going on, but I would suggest that if we had more of that going on and getting reported, we'd have more of that going on. The American public can change things if they're willing to demand a change from their elected officials. Now, the NAACP has a role in that. This is our oldest, largest civil rights organization. And it absolutely has to remain not only in existence, but strong. That's why I bought a life membership. That's why my children are members. Because we've got to have a strong NAACP. Why? Well, number one, the problems that we fought during the 60s are not all gone. I mean, they're not all gone. I want them to be. I would love for my children not to have to deal with some of the things, and they won't. I represent a district, this is amazing, because you know, I represent a district, a congressional district. Every congressional district has approximately 650,000 people in it. My congressional district has 17% blacks. I have the smallest number of African Americans in my congressional district than any of the districts from which African Americans have been elected. 17%. And so nobody can convince me that we haven't made progress. 30 years ago, you wouldn't have had this banquet in this room. No, not welcome. So we have got to say we have progress, and I detest African Americans who say we have not made progress. That is stupid. We have. But there are still challenges facing us every single day, and one of them is with the media. For example, and some of them are black. There's a black woman, I can't remember her name. She used to be on the Monday Night Football. They'd have her coming on Monday nights up until about 2 years ago. She'd come on and act a fool at the NFL Monday Night Football. Anybody remember her name? Anybody remember this woman? She'd come on and what's her name? She's a comedian. Yeah, she'd come on and act an idiot, like at halftime, an African-American woman. I can't remember her name. She walks up to Bill Cosby at an award ceremony and sticks out her hand to shake it, and he put his hand in his pocket and walked away. And I'm cheering. You know why? Because she has become the stepping fetcher of NFL football. And yeah, she's getting paid. It's hard to believe you guys didn't see it. She was on for about 2 years. She didn't call the game, but at halftime they'd have her out acting an idiot, a fool. And I'm glad that Bill Cosby wouldn't shake her hand, because he's saying, look, after having fought to keep Step and Fetch It in the past, and you're bringing him back, and you think I'm going to shake your hand and smile in your face? Now, Viacom is now trying to buy some new television stations. So we met with them. We said, look, we want to know about what kind of programming, because we need to know whether or not we need to challenge this purchase with the Federal Communications Commission. And so Maxine Waters in the meeting said, are you going to have any, African American programming? And one said, well, no. She said, not anymore. She said, we'll have, some mixed programs, I'm sure, where we have people who are Latino and African American. And so Maxine said, well, you have any white shows? And she said, well yeah. Okay, we got it. We're not stupid, we can hear, we understand exactly what you just said. That the point is that, we have not come together in the manner that we have. Now, there are some good things about the fact that no matter what people say now, it's not racist, and people will deny it. They'll deny the racism. Here's the good thing about it, that I think, and a lot of my colleagues don't agree with me on this, and you may not either. But when Congressman from Iowa made some comment about President Obama a couple of weeks ago. It's, well, wasn't racist, nothing was racist. I am happy that people deny it, because it means, as I interpret it, they are ashamed. Yes. And so they will deny it. I think that is to some degree healthy, because they're saying, I said this, and I'm ashamed for it to be interpreted even the way I wanted it to be interpreted. I'm ashamed of it. So they deny it.